Godzilla Minus One has finally come to the UK, and it's even doing so well in America that it's gone into an additional 2,600 theatres, so yeah, it's looking pretty good. So why is this film getting so much love from fans and critics? Well, it's actually a bloody film involving Godzilla, involving a monster where you care about the human characters. The movie takes place in 1945 near the end of World War II, as we see a kamikaze pilot land on an island pretending to have technical issues with his plane. While on this island, we see the first attack from Godzilla, who wipes out nearly everybody apart from the pilot Shikishima and also the lead mechanic. The following year, Shikishima returns home to find out his parents were killed during the bombing of Tokyo, and then we follow him as he's trying to build up a new family, as he finds this girl with an orphan baby. He starts work as a minesweeper, and also he's doing all this while dealing with survivor's guilt because he fled from his duty. Godzilla Minus One is the 37th installment in the Godzilla franchise, and in recent films like in Godzilla vs Kong, he hasn't been a monster that really invokes that fear into you. Instead, he's been more like a boxer, where you're just sort of watching him throw his punches at whatever comes in his way. And so it's really refreshing to see in this film that they put the fear back into Godzilla, and even with little things like his posture. His posture is a little bit like the Chernobog from Fantasia. It's very commanding, very much full of himself, and knows exactly what he's doing, knows the weapon he is. The music here also complements everything so well, whether it be an emotional scene or a Godzilla rampage, it just elevates it to another level. And speaking of emotional scenes, you actually do get emotionally invested in these characters and the story here, and that is again such a contrast from these American Godzilla films we've seen recently, where I'd happily see a lot of those characters get squished by Godzilla. When I first heard about Godzilla Minus One, I was intrigued to find out why it's actually called that, and apparently it's a reference to post-war Japan being reduced to zero, and with Godzilla showing up, that plunges the country into a negative state. Because this Godzilla likes to hit people when they're down, but thankfully that's not the case for all of them.
Oh my god.
It's incredibly entertaining watching the characters here try and work out exactly how they're going to move such an indestructible force. There are a good deal of messages to be taken away from this film, and they're not subtle by any means, but you don't really expect subtlety in a film involving a giant reptilian monster. But the key thing is, they don't take you out of that moment, and instead they weave it into the story. So yeah, there's plenty to rave about with this movie, so much that I haven't even mentioned how awesome it is to see Godzilla load up for his atomic blast. But is it all great? Well, there are some things which I think do drag it down a little bit. One being that during the third act of the film, there is a planning stage for how they're going to deal with Godzilla, and they probably could have shaved 5 to 10 minutes off here because you do start to feel the runtime. Also, there are a number of plot conveniences throughout the film, but you're enjoying yourself so much watching this movie that you just let them pass by. Takashi Yamazaki's Godzilla Minus One does a fantastic job of commemorating the 70th anniversary of the kaiju's birth. As someone who's never been a massive fan of Godzilla, I didn't know I wanted this film, but hey, I guess that's just one of the joys of being a fan of cinema. You never know when you enter a screening exactly how you're going to feel on the way out. And this movie energized me in such an impressive manner that I'm happy to say it's one of the best films to come out of 2023. And something I always think about after I watch a film at the cinema is, if someone asked me to go with them to see this film, would they be met with a joyous response or a reluctant one? And for this film, it is most certainly the former. So yeah, that's just my quick thoughts on Godzilla Minus One, but have you seen the film? And if so, what did you think? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below, and also, is this your favourite Godzilla film? And if you want to see a review for another film that pleasantly surprised me, on screen is a video for Wonka.